Hey y'all, welcome back to the HackShack. Today we've got another box from the folks at Hackerboxes. This is Hackerbox 118, and the name is
More Human.
Let's get this on the bench and see what we have inside here. Here we've got some female 10 centimeter DuPont jumper wires. Here we've got our Raspberry Pi Pico W. Here we've got some male 0.1 inch pitch header pins. Here we have the INMP 441 I2S MEMS microphone sensor module. This is a female USB-C to male micro USB adapter. Here we've got the 3.5 millimeter TRRS audio jack breakout. Here we've got this neat little PAM8302A 2.5 watt audio amplifier module. Here we've got the 3.5 millimeter USB-C digital audio converter.
Hello there, I'm a silicon earbud pouch, or Granny's change purse.
This is a rectangular cavity speaker. And this is a pair of black wired earbuds with a 3.5 millimeter audio plug. And this is a neat little ultra slim 5-in-1 USB-C hub. That's pretty handy. And this is a cool embroidered Hackerbox patch with Velcro hook backing. Here we've got two randomly selected stickers from the Hackerbox developer collection. And last but not least, we've got our Hackerbox 118 collectible reference card. On this side, we've got images of our amp and microphone. And on the flip side, we've got our pinouts for our Pico W. Before we move on, I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, PCBWay. And got a design ready? PCBWay makes it easy to bring it to life. Upload your files, pick your options, place your order. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just tinkering for fun, PCBWay delivers quality boards fast. Also, check out the PCBWay special they have on free purple solder mask. This is going to be available until October 31st, 2025. Just like they always do, the folks from Hackerboxes have included a great set of instructions here available on Instructables. I have a link to that in the description. Even if you don't have the Hackerbox, you might find it pretty handy. All right, one of the first things the Instructable is going to have us do here is use this micro USB to USB-C adapter and get that plugged into your computer. You may not see any LEDs or anything on the Pico W when you plug it in, but you should see a little drive pop up just like this. And that's a good basic first test there. Okay, for the next steps, we'll assume that you've got the Arduino IDE installed, and we're going to add the Earl F. Philhauer board manager URL. And you do that by going into the preferences, and there's a link you can follow in the Instructable, and it's going to give you a particular URL that you need to add into Arduino. And once you do that, you should then be able to use the board manager to search for 2040 and find the right package and hit the install button like this. You should be able to then go into Tools, Board, Raspberry Pi Pico RP2040 and find the Raspberry Pi Pico W. And then you want to load the example Blink sketch. I didn't exactly show it here, but you want to go under Tools and Port and make sure you've got the right port that your Pico is showing up as. Now, depending on what mode it's in, you may see a numbered port or you might see something that just says UF2. And that just depends on how your Pico currently booted up. And you might see it flipping between the two different ones depending on what you're doing when you're messing around with these things. And if you're in like the normal numbered serial port, you'll notice when you push the code to it right before it finishes, it'll convert over to UF2 mode. So you should be okay. I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And to change its mode would be whether when you power it up, if you've got like the boot button pressed down or not when you apply power. That's how you switch that. And when that finishes, you should see the onboard LED blinking. Okay, the next thing the Instructable has us check out is the sketch we see under File, Example, Wi-Fi, Scan Networks. So we're going to compile and push that to the board. And when that finishes, if you open the serial monitor, you should see a list that refreshes every so often of all the wireless networks that the Pico W can see in its current location. So that's a pretty cool example. All right, the next thing we're going to do is a little basic web server example, and we're going to open up File, Example, Web Server, Hello Server Sketch. And inside that file, you're going to set your SSID and password. And you're going to compile and upload that sketch. And then you're going to look in the serial monitor, and in there you should see the IP that was addressed to your Pico W. And if you browse to that, you should get a little basic web page display there, and that lets you know that that's okay. Next, the Instructable invites us to check out this video from DroneBot Workshop. This takes the web example to a little bit of a next level and gives us the ability to turn the LED off and on through web control. So I follow the link in the video and it takes us to the DroneBot Workshop, and I found the example here for the LED control, and I just copied that and I pasted it into a new sketch within Arduino. And similar to before, we had to edit the pre-shared keys. I made those line up with what I've got here at home. Then I push the code to it, and after that gets done and it's running, you go over to the serial monitor and see the IP. Of course, in this case, the IP hasn't changed. Then you go to that in your browser, and it looks a little different. Now we've got this button. Now watch what happens when we click it. We should see the LED going on and off, and that should be proof that that worked just fine. And that's a cool little thing to look at and explore the code of. You can think of other things you can do with that to have like a web-enabled relay or something like that. Next, the Instructable advises us to snap the white 40-pin male header into 2 sections with 20 pins each. And we should insert the headers and hold the pins perpendicular to the module PCB. And what I did was just broke these apart, stuck them in, and I actually used a breadboard to kind of hold things together while I soldered it. After that, it says verify the MCU still boots and properly executes code when powered. And if you've left the last example code on there, you should be able to see that. And like in my case, I just plugged it back in and I was able to see that web interface again, so I knew that it wasn't broken at that point. Next, the Instructable advises us to solder the 4-pin header onto the 3.5mm TRRS breakout module. You can see I made use of the breadboard again and a little bit of blue tack to get that done. Now next, I kind of veered off from the Instructable and went ahead and decided to do all the soldering that I had to do for this Hackerbox in one shot. So I continued on and soldered these pins for the amplifier on next, also making use of the breadboard once again. Next, I soldered up the microphone module. I took this 6-pin header and split it in 2, so I'd have a set of 3 and 3. And remember, on the PCB, the side that you're going to be talking into or that records the sound is going to be the side with the tiny hole. So you want that to be pointed up, and the longer side of your jumpers to be the opposite side of the little pinhole that you'll speak into. So next, I got back on track with the Instructable and stripped these wires for the speaker because I wanted to try the amplified speaker first instead of the headphone, and it gives you the choice there to do that. So I tinned the end of those wires I just stripped, and then I will connect them and solder them to the amplifier board output side, and I'll put the red to positive and the black to negative. Now, after soldering the speaker to the amplifier output, I changed my mind again and I went ahead and tried the headphone example first, and I connected it like it says here to do in the Instructable. Ground goes to tip on the TRRS, and GP1 off the Pi goes to ring 1 on the TRRS. And then I plugged in the headphones. Then I went and opened the example sketch under File, Example, PWM Audio, Play Raw. Made sure the Pi was connected and pushed that code to it. Hey, Macarena. Okay, next I was going to test 2 things at one time. One was the ability to have a custom sound file, and the next was to use the amplifier and speaker this go around. So I wired that up as specified in the Instructable. Next, I snagged the custom wave.h file from the Instructable, copied the contents to my buffer, and I replaced the wave.h from the sketch with the stuff I just copied. Then I sent that to the Raspberry Pi Pico, and it sounded like this. The Instructable's got a link to a utility that you can use to convert a sound wave of your choice to a C-style array, and you can play with that in the sketch if you want to. Moving along with the instructable, the next thing I did was wired up the microphone according to the directions, or at least I hoped I did that correctly. Next, I opened File, Example, I2S Input, and then I sent that to the board. And then the instructable says to open the serial plotter, not the serial monitor, and whistle into the microphone, and it should display a wave on the plotter. And whistling at different pitches should change the frequency of the plotted waveform. And no matter what I tried, I could not get this to act like it was supposed to. I tried making sure the wiring was okay, and I'm not sure if maybe one of these times or when I first tried it I had something off or something, but long story short, I believe that either I had a bad microphone or I had somehow damaged the microphone. So after going through a bunch of rigmarole that I'm not going to show you here, I just got a hold of some new microphones, thankfully. I got one of these new ones soldered up and then gave it a try again, and now it looks like this, like it's supposed to. If that looks better. And that, yeah, that's much better. That is much better in doing what I thought it was going to do. So. Now I'm whistling there, and you can definitely see, or even when I'm talking, you can see a tone there, or you can see the waves rather. So that's doing what it's supposed to. So either the original microphone I had was screwed up, or, and I'm not even going to go back and look, you feel free to rewind and see where, if you can tell when I connected it up, if I crossed up something and destroyed it. But this is doing what it's supposed to do. So that looks much better, even without the limits put on it. And I won't even go into that because that's something you don't really have to do to see this working. All right, so with the microphone sorted out, I looked at the next thing here in the instructable, and it's this, is there an echo in here part? And so it tells you right here to, connect one of your audio out devices. So in this case, I just have my speaker still set up, and it said instead of connecting GP1 as the audio signal, use GP8, and that because GPA1 is still in use from the microphone. And then it has this echo sketch you can grab locally from the instructable. And then I had this result. And I'll tell you, it was very sensitive to feedback. So I kind of put the speaker in a box and try to hold it down, and you'll see what it does here. I've got this thing, you can hear it trying to feedback though. But I consider this a successful experiment. Yeehaw. Okay, so next, when we're following along in the instructable, we get to this little part about AI, and I saw a cool link here to a thing called microspeech, which is part of the TensorFlow Lite stuff, and it's supposed to be a real small model that just will kind of positively identify yes or no when spoken through the microphone. And I thought, in theory, this should be a simple example that we could try to do for folks that are first messing around with this kind of stuff. But everything I tried to do with the amount of time I had to wrap up this video did not work. So if any of you out there know of a easy, straightforward way to make this simple yes/no micro speech example work on a Pico 2, please let me know. I'd love to share it with folks. All right, the last thing I played with from this Hackerbox was this USB-C DAC. I plugged it into my Pixel phone and plugged in a little cheap lavalier microphone to it. And here's the audio directly from the phone. Hey, look here. All right, cool. This is the wired mic. I'm just recording some audio right now so you can hear what it sounds like with this little cheap lavalier microphone. I really like the idea of having these little DACs as an option to use when I'm wanting to use this as a camera, but maybe want to have a little better audio without using my wireless stuff, and just as something else to have as a backup, or if I want to use some wired headphones when I'm got this, kind of sad when they got rid of all the headphone jacks on stuff, but I know that's just how it goes. It looks like we're going to have ourselves another giveaway. The nice folks at HackerBoxes have graciously offered to send a HackerBox 118 to a randomly picked commenter. We'll be picking the comment on October 26, 2025. And remember, HackerBoxes only ships to US addresses for this giveaway. So if your comment's picked, but you don't have a US shipping address that we can use, we'll need to pick someone else. Good luck. At the time of this recording, there are still HackerBox 118s in stock. If you don't win the giveaway and want to get one, check them out or go ahead and subscribe. Hey, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.